Joining us on the phone right now, Chevy Chevalier. He's a meteorologist with our Hawaii station in Honolulu. Chevy, thank you for giving us some of your time right now. First, talk to us about how did this get so bad? I mean, was this a case of everything going wrong when it comes to weather conditions?
Absolutely, it was. I mean, you used that term perfect storm. This is a rare case. I've been here over 12 years, haven't really seen this scenario. It wasn't Dora alone that caused the strong winds. Dora was a good 500 or 600 miles away from the Big Island, so the island chain, and it's a small storm. But the combination of that and strong high pressure to the north, that's what created it. Hawaii was right between that, and it created these almost historic winds with gusts up to 82 miles per hour. And the timing was also a big problem because the biggest, highest winds after the fire started went into nighttime, and it was very difficult. People were sleeping. It was very difficult for people to be alerted, and that's why a lot of people got trapped.
You know, and Chevy, obviously we're talking about an island, surrounded by the Pacific Ocean there. Generally anybody who's been there, they know that it's humid. Did the conditions, I mean, is this just something where kind of all of that moisture was sucked out of the air?
No, well, what happens is you have the windward side and you have the leeward side. Because of the mountains, and I think a lot of people don't realize we have 14,000-foot mountains here. We're on volcanoes. That's where we live, on top of volcanoes. The rain gets wrung out of the clouds by the mountains, and the leeward side of the islands is very dry. So dry, in fact, that the area where the fires are is now under severe drought. It's very dry there. I talked to an expert from Manoa, University of Hawaii Manoa, earlier on the show about some of these lands are unmanaged. They don't do controlled burns, things of that nature. Not pointing blame, but just saying that some more action probably needs to be taken to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Because after something like this, you ask why the weather is primarily responsible, but something sparks the fire, and then you ask, how can you prevent this from happening again? Because nothing like this has ever happened in Hawaii.
And Chevy, as we said there, you're a meteorologist with our Honolulu station. We know that the bulk of this happening there on Maui, different island there, but what is the overall impact?
The overall impact, well, the short term, I mean, there are people still that are stranded there on Maui. Tourists, a lot of tourists. We were showing live shots from our on our show, morning show this morning. They can't get back to the hotels where they were staying because maybe they were out on the island before this happened, and they don't know if their stuff is still, exists or how they can get off the island. They're struggling to get out of there. But, of course, the big impact is Lahaina, a historic community, almost completely wiped out. And you lost, of course, the loss of life. That's unprecedented. It's at 36 now. We don't know if that's going to increase or not. Hundreds of businesses are gone. A tremendous impact to Maui, and it's going to take a long time to recover from this.
And as we know that firefighters, crews are still actively fighting the flames here. Do you know, are things getting any better, or are they only continuing to get worse? And is there any chance that that's going to change based on what happens when it comes to the weather?
Well, fortunately, as a meteorologist, I can finally give some good news for this scenario, as I've been giving all morning, that the weather conditions are improving. It's still breezy out there. The firefighters do have challenges today to control these fires on Maui, and we don't want to forget about the Big Island. They have some fires as well. But the winds are going to go down. As a matter of fact, the winds are going to improve this weekend to where we're not even going to have breezy conditions. And we haven't had that in several weeks, if not a few months. This time of year, we usually get just breezy trades. The winds are going to go down. They're actually getting some rain that they haven't seen there in a while. That would be the biggest help, but most of that's going to be on the windward side. But maybe they'll get some cloud coverage to keep it from being 90 degrees. The winds will go down. It is going to be great because they have the Air National Guard in there with Chinook helicopters doing some water drops. They're going to continue that today. And based on, I was in the Air Force. I supported these operations before. If they were able to fly yesterday and today, they should be able to continue that through the weekend. That is tremendous help in containing the fires. That's number one, contain the fires, and then we'll get into, all that, how to prevent this and what caused and all that, so we don't ever have this happen again.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.